Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are in the world, and a big, big welcome today to our wonderful webinar for the University of Roehampton online. It's one of our student experience webinars where you can hear firsthand from one of our students what our programs are like and what's the experience of studying online, the challenges, and some of the tips and tricks as well. So we have a wonderful webinar planned, and also it's an interactive webinar. What that means is you have an opportunity, if you see the little blue bar under the picture of our guest speaker today, to ask a question. You can ask me or Isaac a question about the University of Roehampton online, our programs, or anything that interests you when you listen to our conversation today. My name is Joe O'Brien. I'll be the moderator today, and our guest is Isaac Bankole, who's an MBA student on our program at Roehampton at the moment. Let's have a look at the agenda for today. First, we're going to look at why Isaac chose to study online, what drew him to the University of Roehampton. We're going to have a look at the classmates that he's met along the way and how they've influenced him through the course, as well as the instructors and where they're from across the world. Some practical tips for those that haven't studied online before. We're going to look into how you study online and what that actually looks like. Some next steps for those that are in our application process and want to know what to do next, or are really keen to start June 30th, which is our next intake. We've got some steps for you there. And we have a fantastic Q&A. What that is an opportunity at the end of our webinar, around 20 minutes, half an hour through, to ask your questions to Isaac, as we discussed before, by using the blue box. We also have a lovely poll. If you participate in that, we'll be able to see what you think of online studying and how you're excited to start a master's program with us. So without any further ado, let's meet our wonderful guest for today, Isaac Bankole. Hi, Isaac. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Can you just briefly tell the audience a bit about your background? Where do you come from? What do you do as a job? And where are you in our program?
Okay. Good day, everybody. I'm glad to meet you all. My name is Isaac Bankole. I actually come from the Ondo State part of Nigeria, but recently I reside in Abuja. And presently, I work as an IT specialist with an American international school in Abuja.
Nice.
And I'm just submitted my management research project April, the last batch, April 13th.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I will be graduating by next year, February. I studied information system management.
Information
Thank
systems management. Well, there you go. Yeah, you're welcome. So you'll be obviously graduating on campus, online, and actually you'll be going, I assume. Do you plan to go to Roehampton to actually graduate on the campus itself?
Yes, definitely.
There you go, and it'll be richly deserved. And for anyone who might not be aware, the degree that you'll receive from University of Roehampton online is identical in every way to the degree that the on-campus students receive. And your ceremony will be held in London at a massive reception hall. And you'll get a chance to meet some people from your program, Isaac. So it's a real opportunity for you to go and network. And we'll be discussing later what a networker you are, because you're one of the biggest influencers that we have in our student body, and networkers. So we're going to, give some students some tips today on how they can build their networks and follow in your footsteps. That's a nice segue into a slide that we have about our student community. And I'd like to ask you, what are the networking opportunities for you on the course? And what type of students have you met in your modules along the way, Isaac?
Actually, when I started the program, that was September 2013. We one of the first set of people I met, especially in my group, then was one of my colleagues in Abuja. We were actually two, because Module 1 was like a general course for all the intakes. So one of my friends, Olufemi Vaughn, I just saw his name and I knew that this definitely can be a Nigerian person, and he happened to be in my group. In the biography stuff, I got his name and I chatted him. I got his phone number, so I contacted him. So he was the first person I would meet one-on-one. And that actually, because when I actually had a problem, I think in my Unit 1, when my reference, what's it called now, referencing problem, plagiarism, whatever, I was writing to about 26%. I had to run to him, and we explained to things one to ourselves. And since that time, I never had any problem with anything called referencing or citing. So that was actually one of the students I met. And then along the line, too, I met quite a number of students before. And since we started our group in Nigeria, and it has been so awesome. So I've met quite a number of students.
And where do the students come from in your class? And what kind of backgrounds do they have?
The issue is that we have different backgrounds. Like this, the Femi that I was talking about, he was a regional manager in charge of IT, the northern regional manager in charge of IT in Abuja here. And then I also met another colleague, Godwin Egu. Godwin Egu is also the head of the IT department with the NNPC cooperative. And then I also met Engineer Shokumbi, who is an assistant director with the National Hospital in Abuja here too. And I've also met Esther Ariyo too. She's also a project manager with private firm in Abuja here too. So these are a few of the students I have met one-on-one.
Yeah, and that's studying online. Doesn't have to be a lonely experience. I think
yes.
And you've gone on there and you've found a network, so you can kind of have that campus experience of sharing your ideas. The Nigerian network, and you've also, apart from the people that you've managed to meet face to face or find face to face, have you had any experience with international students from different parts of the world as well?
Yes. There is a very good friend, of course, older than myself, a very good friend that we became so close in Module 3, that is Organization and Business Environment. Yes. Her name is, I don't know, she's actually from Kosovo. Call her Volkal, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Nice. Yeah, so we actually been communicating. And we are planning to. We'll be glad to see ourselves face to face when we come for graduation. And then there's also another colleague, Darren. Darren is in. I've forgotten the country where she. I think from Jordan also. Nice. She is also the head of IT unit. I think one of the airports there. These are very good friends I've met online, and today we still communicate, despite the fact that we have finished the program, but we still communicate.
I think that's lovely. One of the things that's nice about our program and studying online with us is that you get access to your own consultancy. So you go into these small classes and you have people from all over the world, and you can bring your work problems into the class, and you can use academic theory and research to start solving problems you have at work. And you have your own consultancy team in there, virtual, who are going in and into our online platform, and you're all giving each other advice. So I really like, you said you met Violka earlier. She's also, a great ambassador for the student experience here. We've spoken to her before. Other students from across the world, different cultures, different people, and I think, that really sums up the experience. You've gone local for what you need in terms of your, FaceTime with other students and your support, but you've also gone global by sourcing, experts from around the world to help you as well. In terms of the format of studying online as opposed to on campus, Isaac, why did you choose to study online, and why, with the University of Roehampton?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think 2013, I actually had it so strongly that I needed to do my master's, especially on information system. Management and programming information system, and actually made a lot of research online. Contacted some schools, and some schools offered me of course, admission and but some of the schools were so much expensive. I think there was a school that called me from the university, United States, and it gave me about like a $30,000, thereabouts. Of course, I didn't go for that, but along the line, I just stumbled on the University of Roehampton, and I made an inquiry, and I can't forget the enrollment advisor then. One India woman who, something like that, sorry to pronounce the name.
That's all right.
So she actually did a very good follow-up, told me a lot of stuff. So I chose Roehampton because, one, at that time, it was very, very affordable for me. It was something I could, gather some funds and then to meet up. And then it was also flexible. The payment method too was another thing that was encouraging. Yeah. And in fact, when I wanted to start, I didn't actually have. I was contacted around May. The program was supposed to start September, so I didn't have the whole money at that time. So there was asked to pay like $500 first. Then I think before the program, that I could make up that was a very good opportunity for me. I just grabbed the opportunity and I made the payment at least to get my name registered. That was what I did. So the flexibility of the payment was very, very encouraging, and it's still encouraging. Then the structure of the program, I think, in modular form, of course, it was new to me compared to Nigerian academic structure. So it was a very good structure, and I felt that it was something I could cope with, and that was why I started.
Okay, and we're very proud that you came here and that you chose to study with us at the University of Roehampton online. And we have a very robust program. We have a lot of support, and so I'm glad that you're really making the most of your opportunities, which is a very important thing, because we don't just produce academics; we produce practitioners, influencers, and people who want to network and grow in their professional career. And I think you have embodied that with the way that you've attacked your program and your networking opportunities. We have an opportunity as well to ask a poll question, and I don't want anyone to be shy. I'd like us all to participate in our poll today. So if we could just launch the poll. We have Hugo, who's looking at questions and helping us in the back end today, and I'd like to fire our first poll question up. I hope studying an online master's will A. Advance my career, B. Develop me professionally, C. Allow me to pursue a doctoral degree, or D. Allow me to network with fellow working professionals. So that the question is, I hope studying an online master's will advance my career, develop me professionally, allow me to pursue a doctoral degree, or allow me to network with fellow working professionals. So I'll leave you a couple of seconds to enter in your answers there, A, B, C, or D, and then we can come back to those answers and kind of get a gauge of the kind of different motivators out there. I mean, the majority of people who are pursuing a higher education degree are either pursuing it to advance their existing career, to switch their career, or to start their own business. Some of them also want to grow as academics. So please go in there and put your answers, and we can get a good understanding of the kind of different motivations that we have. So thank you very much, and we'll pull that question down now. So thank you for that. Isaac, you've not only encountered faculty on the program, but obviously you've encountered students. You've encountered our faculty as well. What type of faculty members have you met along the way, because you're at the end of your program now, and how have they helped you and assessed your work?
Well, fortunately, the first faculty member I met is the one that is showing on the slide. Dr. Joaquin and
Angles, yeah.
Okay, good. So she was the one. It was the one I first met in my Model 1.
Oh, wow.
Leading a new era, like that.
Yeah, leading and learning in a dynamic era. Yeah.
Yes. So I must tell you, it's a very common person that we didn't discuss in our group. It's very rugged and to detail. So you'll be glad to meet such a person. And I was he was a good instructor to me especially. And then another person that was in my module 2, that is Dr. Cynthia Phillips. So unfortunately, she was the one I met in my module 2 and in my module 7. And unfortunately, I had distinctions in the 2 modules she taught us.
Mm-hmm.
And then module 3, I can't remember his name right now. I got him. And then, but in module 4, I met Dr. Peter Toro.
Mm-hmm.
And really, he was very thorough. He was a thorough man.
Peter Toro was very thorough.
Yes, very thorough. And it was in a managing project. That was the module 4, and it was very, very wonderful. And like other, I feel talking about, I can't figure their names right now, but at least those are the ones I can really mention for now.
Well, there you go. And, they're all practitioners, working in their field. You mentioned Joaquin Angles there. For our audience who are interested in any of our management programs, we have a lovely couple of webinars that are available to watch on our events page, and also your enrollment consultant could advise you where to watch those. And the first one is about leadership in modern business, and that's a webinar that I ran last week with Dr. Joaquin Angles, and he's worked for 34 years with the U.S. Navy in the military as a change management specialist, and we're very lucky to have him teaching on our courses. We have Natalia Stacalo, who's one of our management for our research projects, and she's the editor of the World Finance Journal. And we had Elaine Garcia in here this week. She teaches the module called Managing Projects, and she's an academic and an expert in online education and mobile technology. So our academics aren't generalists, they're specialists. They specialize in their research areas, and they teach the modules on our programs that are really specific to their interest and the theories that they like to teach. I'd like to ask you, Isaac, what are the kind of learnings that you've taken from the course and applied to your professional career? What are some of the favorite theories and things that have helped you advance yourself?
Okay. I think in module 3, business and organization environment, it was a very, very practicable module to me especially. And then I actually used my organization as my case study. And I actually presented a kind of model during the program. But I found it so applicable to my immediate environment, and it was very, very useful. And module 2, that was information systems.
Mm-hmm.
Because it actually talked about most of the emerging technologies. So it actually broadened my knowledge about the emerging technologies like cloud technology, virtualization, enterprise resource planning,
nice.
And all those emerging technologies. So it was really, really a eye-opener to me especially. And then most especially, one of the modules I enjoy most, that is my module 7, that is strategic information system. It was really strategic because, we were made to understand that what makes an organization to have a competitive edge is your ability to strategically apply your information at your disposal. The different organizations might have the same information, but the ability to use it to gain a competitive edge, make it strategic.
Yes.
In an instance where we have a market, in our module 3 or module 2, they thought that it was a red ocean, a red ocean where everybody comes into the market and compete together.
Yes.
But a strategic manager or a strategic information manager should be able to apply the information at their disposal to gain a competitive edge in the kind of creating another technology that is called blue ocean, where you are making yourself new, creating a new technology, or using the existing technology in a new way just to gain a competitive edge. So these courses are really, really applicable to my module, and I'm telling you at least I have become a better person as far as the information system is concerned.
Well, that's
so the
it.
Courses,
do you feel you're a better leader and you're more effective, at work,
yes.
and
Yes.
you're more able to progress as well?
Yes.
Well, there you go. I mean, you mentioned blue ocean strategy there. It's very interesting. It's a theory that we teach in our course by a professor called Dr. Kim. And most companies either differentiate themselves by cost or by product. And the blue ocean, that's a red ocean strategy. So you join all the rest of the competitors out there and try to beat them on cost or try to beat them on your product differentiation. But blue ocean companies try to create new and disruptive business models and try to create markets for themselves. And that's something that Isaac's learned on his IT course, but it's also something you can learn on our management programs where we look at innovation that way. So it's nice that we teach a lot of these broad-based themes across all of our different modules and across our programs as well. I'd like to talk about the amazing networking opportunities that you've created, Isaac. You're a big influencer and networker that we have at the University of Roehampton Online. I'd like to ask you first, to lead into this, to tell the audience a bit about what Inspireret is. So I'll just simply ask you, what is Inspireret, Isaac?
Inspireret actually is a social platform for University of Roehampton online students, where the students could meet, interact, ask any question, meet new colleagues, get information from the faculty members, and then it's also a place where we meet the other students from the other communities, maybe from another country or from another profession. So it's actually a social platform for Roehampton students online. Lovely.
And now you're big into this platform, Isaac. You use it a lot. I'd like you to explain what is Team Nigeria? What is this group that you've created?
Actually, Team Nigeria group is I'm glad to be a member of that group because we have great number of intellectuals there, and I'm sure University of Roehampton Online will bear witness to that based on their performances in across the modules and across the program. So it's actually a platform for all Nigerian students, University of Roehampton Online students, where we meet and share our minds. And I call it a social platform, but not an extension of a classroom. Why? It's a place where everybody you just come and then be yourself. Ask any question you feel like asking without being ashamed.
Yes.
We rise up to ourselves to solve any challenge, and I'm glad because most of us, and let me say all of us, have actually benefited from the group in one way or the other. So it's actually a group for Nigerian students that are with the University of Roehampton Online.
I mean, it's not just a virtual group either. It's you've met them face to face. You've run info sessions as well, and you have, I believe, you're on a Telegram phone group as well. Can you just tell us a bit more about that?
Okay. When we started I think in my module 6, that was research methods. Some of the terminologies that were discussed, they are talking about the epistemology, ontology, and all those kind of terms. So some of my colleagues in the same unit, I'm talking of Olufemi Von, Esther Ariyo, Rikiye Achinwu, and Godwin Hegu. So those were the four of us that I contacted that, oh guys, let us just meet together and discuss these things, face to face. It will be clearer, if we could meet face to face rather than just talking online. So we decided to meet somewhere in Abuja, and then for the second time we included one of one of our senior colleagues talking about Oluchi and Neil. So she joined us in the second meeting, and then some students some of us got the idea that we could actually extend the group to other colleagues or other students in another module or other programs. So it was a welcoming idea. So we posted the name on the StarNet and the information of how you could get connected. And from 5 members, we grew up to 100. 100. Maybe to close to 100, and realized that the WhatsApp group then couldn't accommodate us again because many students were really having seen the benefits and were really interested in joining, and it was becoming very active group. So we realized that WhatsApp couldn't accommodate us based on the maximum number of members that could be in a group. So we had to create Telegram group. And on the 1st of January of this year, we migrated fully to Telegram. That was more robust than WhatsApp. And presently in the group, we are 145.
Wow!
And I can tell you, it's an active group. If you're a member of the group, if you switch off your phone for like 5 or let me say 1 hour before you come back and open it, because don't be surprised seeing almost like about 200 messages here and there.
Wow!
So,
yeah, so you're extremely active.
Yeah, it's actually a very active group, and then I actually appreciate every member on that platform. They are great and wonderful people. Very brilliant set of students. I must tell you that.
Well, there you go, and it's an example to anyone. Anyone can go and do this. You've done it off yourself. You're a self-starter. Now, obviously, you know about business, you know about IT and technology, and you've kind of used that and fused that with a bit of project management, bit of innovation, and you've kind of created this group, let it expand. When it gets too big for one platform, you move it to another. I mean, I think that's really great. When I look at this photo, I see the demographic of our student body, men and women. It looks like an age range 30 to 50, all working professionals. Probably all of you guys have families that you're juggling, work that you're juggling at the same time. And then finding time out to also meet each other, share your experiences, and kind of lean on each other for support. So, this really is, far from distance learning. There's very little distance that I'm seeing here. Just a lot of closeness, which I think is a real testament to what can be achieved if you really dive into it head first. I want to understand a bit more the practical side of how you study online. Many of our students in our audience today will have never studied online, bar maybe a short course, a MOOC or whatever, but a full master's online is much more of an immersive experience. You see the platform here. How do you go into the platform, in a typical week? What are the steps, and how do you actually study?
Okay. Firstly, let me say some of us, especially from Nigeria, now we are used to Nigerian system of education. Many of us actually had the mindset that online education will be very easy, sort of. But I'm sorry to change my mindset because it wasn't a funny thing. And to say the fact, online program is not for a lazy person. That is just the truth. If you actually want to come up with something reasonable, it's not going to be very easy. You have to discipline yourself and then do a lot of things. Personally, I engaged the whole week, and from my own side, I don't actually have maybe a regular system of study. I pop in anytime. Any available time. I try to do something. Let's take, for example, the beginning of the module, having gone through all the requirements and what needs to do, I look at the requirement for each unit and the big project that I will be working on. And immediately, most of the modules, you will have to actually take a particular organization as a case study. So I settled on that maybe a day or two, having gotten the goal of the module. And after that, moved to unit by unit. Most of the time, what I do for every unit, I downloaded the materials for that were presented or given for each unit, downloaded them, and if I could print, I try to print as many as possible because it's not really healthy to be fixing your eyes on the screen every time.
Of course.
So I print anyone that I could print, and personally, I read what I can read. And sometimes I scan through some materials, scan through whether they actually they are actually relevant, much relevant to what I'll be writing on. If they are not, fine. I just get the materials ready, and I also make use of the university library to also get materials. Not only library, sometimes I also consult Google Scholar to also get some materials. So, but one thing I made sure is that any material I'm looking for, I make sure that they're academic materials, not just any materials like we were told. You can't just make use of maybe like
Wikipedia,
social media as your reference or whatever. No, so any material you want to reference should be an academic material. At least preferably in an academic journal. So, and then I also make use of my night, especially to do most of my assignments in the night. When I get back home from work, try to take care of my children after after they have gone to bed. Then I stay back with my sister and I read. So that's how I actually did it all through.
Well, there you go. And as you said before, it's it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment, a bit of sacrifice as well, and above all, planning and support. I just wanted to discuss support with you a bit more. You were talking earlier about your family, which is I can only assume is great support for you. I know that you're on our Inspireret, and we have a community manager, Christina, who also supports you to help you grow your group and your network as well. We have our own support team here at the University of Roehampton Online that we're extremely proud of. We have a student support team, and we have enrollment advisors that many of you will be speaking to at the moment who can help you make the right choice about your program, just like Isaac was talking to before. You have the library, you have IT support, you have members of the faculty, and then you have these wonderful people called student support specialists. Have you ever had to talk to student support specialists before, Isaac, and have they ever helped you through your course when you've had an issue?
Yes, the students of support, they have been very, very helpful. Of course, every one of us can testify to that. There are some problems you can't just solve based on your own knowledge. You never can tell whether it was a back-end problem. So most of the time when I run to such a problem, I actually contacted the student support. Actually, there was a time I had a problem with clearing my cache. So I was told, it was from the student support I got the solution. I was told to clear my the cache, then restart my system. And when I did that, it was everything began to work fine. So I'm so sure that I believe the student support, they are indispensable as far as running the program is concerned.
I mean, and even if you're worried you need to, something happens, you can't have an assignment, or you're feeling a bit demotivated, you can't go to a website and get the answer to those type of problems. So there's an element of counselling as well that they do, and they talk you through, some of the challenges and relay other experiences from other students that help our students understand that they're all in a big boat with one another, and they all have to go through it together. Thank you very much, Isaac, for all your insight into your student experience. We've had quite a few questions come through from our participants today, interested to know a bit more about the student experience for themselves. So I'd like to pose a few of those questions to you now, Isaac, and I'll take a few of those myself about the course. Isaac, question from the floor. Did you ever have a major distraction from your immediate family and issues that threatened disrupting your studies? And how did you cope with such situations and challenges?
Sorry, can you take it again?
Did you ever have a major distraction on your course or a big challenge on your course, and how did you that disrupted your studies, and did you overcome that?
Yes, I actually had distraction, and I must tell you, I almost lost the balance. I think in my module 7, I was really distracted by my official assignment at my work. For the first time throughout my module, it was in Unit 5 of my Module 7, I did not submit my individual assignment for the first time throughout the whole program. And it was because at that time, it was a time, I work with a school, and at the resumption of the students, I work with the IT department. The load of the work actually on the IT guys. So it was demanding. I couldn't even have time to study, and I didn't have time to even write. Sometimes when I managed to sit down with my system to write, nothing was just coming to my mind. Nothing was coming from my brain to write. So it was really a challenging time for me. But I was so strategic, and this is what I did. I was strategic in everything. Because after Unit 5, your Unit 6 is the final project. You have to submit your final project, and that was what I was waiting for. And what I did was the previous feedback from the faculty member, the previous feedback for each unit, from Unit 1 to Unit 4, I made sure that I implemented every correction. And that was where I actually got some of the things I did not understand along the line. I implemented all the instructions, then I added my own for the final project. And after putting everything together, and I submitted, unfortunately, despite the fact that the module was challenging, I still had distinction on that module. And the reason was because, of course, I was distracted along the line, but I never lost my balance. I actually went through all the individual assignments, and I got everything corrected. So I encourage anybody, you could be distracted really, but please be strategic in your studies. Please have the final project as your focus, and don't lose the balance. And that's all what I can say.
Well, there you go. I mean, we had a similar question come in from another member, which says, did you encounter any challenge to the point of considering quitting? You kind of answered that, but they follow on with this question and said, what motivated you to pass these challenges? So I'll ask you that as well. You've had these challenges and you've managed to deal with them, but what keeps you motivated through your studies?
One of the things that actually keep me motivated is because when I started, I had in mind of going further for my PhD. And of course, you can't just you need a specific requirement to go for a PhD. And I was always making sure that I don't go beyond a merit score. 50 and above. And that was actually the motivation that whatever, maybe sometimes I'm down and up, distraction, whatever, I still keep that goal running. I must not go below 60.
Yeah.
So whatever I was actually doing, make sure that was really the eventual motivation factor for me. And maybe personal motivation. I'll be the first person in my family to have a degree in at least from outside Nigeria. So it's a motivation factor.
Yeah, that's a lot to be motivated about as well. Very practical question from one of our members of our group. How do we join Isaac's group? So how would we join your community group?
Okay. To join the group, he actually made my phone number available to everybody. Or my email address is also available. You could just send your name, send of course your full name preferably, and then your module, the program you are running and your module, then your phone number precisely, your phone number.
Well, there you go.
And then on your own side, you need to install Telegram app on your phone before you can join the group. So I actually had every member, but on the other hand, you will need to install the Telegram app on your phone before it can be added. So send in your phone number, your name, full name, your the program you are running, and your model. I think that's everything.
There you go. And so, yes, so Isaac's group is for our student community, so you can do that through Inspireret, which is our kind of social media platform for our students. You can go to the Team Nigeria group, and you can drop Isaac a message with your details, and you can be added to the Telegram group and see if there are people in your area who might want to discuss things with you. So thank you very much, Isaac, and we have a few more questions for you. I have one question here: what courses are offered in this university? So I think I'll best take that question. We have a number of courses. We have a very rich management school offering, project management, as well as an MBA. We have IT with information systems management, and as Isaac has discussed as well. We have a psychology and health school, a big public health program that we run online as well. And we do have a big education school, which is running education and leadership, education technology, and other programs. Please go onto our site, our website, for all of you that might be prospectively looking at our courses, and please have a conversation with your enrollment consultant, because they're there to make sure that you make the informed choice and the correct choice. For example, many of you may be looking at the MBA as well as the MPM. That's quite popular. People don't know whether they want to be specific project managers or get a broad base of business, and you can discuss these type of issues with your enrollment consultant so that you can really find a program that fits you particularly. I have a lovely question here for you, Isaac. How can I use the feedback on my individual assignments to improve the quality of my work?
Okay. The feedback. I actually encourage every student to submit individual assignments, no matter how poor it may be. Just submit and get the feedback from your instructor. Of course, your instructors are there also to help you through that module. Not really, somebody that wants to pull you down, no, but to help you succeed in that module. So the feedback may actually contain necessary correction on what you have written, and if there's anything that you were supposed to add and you did not add, the instructor will actually inform you in their feedback, and then if there is any additional material that you are supposed to use and you did not use, it will be there. And then if you are able to implement all those individual assignments plus your ability to put your stuff in an academic write-up, I think you should be fine. Yeah.
There you go. So it's a two-way street. So the instructors are there to help you and develop you. So it's important that you use them for your benefit. And we do have a lot of tools as well that I'm going to be discussing later, some support tools to improve your writing. The last question I'd like to ask you in our Q&A is a great question that we have. In Nigeria, a considerable number of people seem to be skeptical about online programs. What do you have to say, Isaac, about the recognition of online certifications in career progression in Nigeria?
Okay, that question is actually a real question. It's something that is every potential student is skeptical about. I was also in that mode. I was also in that mode too. When I joined my present organization about 4 years ago, I became I was actually looking for the opportunity to study, and I didn't actually know how to, but I saw one of our colleagues, one of the teachers in my school who was an expatriate.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that he was actually doing a program online. He resides, then he was in Nigeria, but also doing a program online, a big program. And it was after then I realized that quite a number of people had actually done the same online program, and they presented their certificate to the school, and the school also upgraded them based on the certificate they were able to do. So I felt like, oh, so this is real. And so I felt like, so if I can be able to do this and present it to it, it's actually acceptable. So that was why I opted into that. And then I can tell you, of course, there are many camps around. I cannot deny that there are many camps around, but
of course,
at least for the past 3 years, I have been with the University of Roehampton, and I know it is not a scam, and it is very real. Unfortunately, one of the pioneer students who graduated in February, he is also a member in our group. I'm talking about Mr. Olusegun Shokunbi. Olusegun Shokunbi graduated in February, and he has collected his certificate.
Wow.
And to convince all of us in the group, he took the snapshot of the certificate, posted it to the group. There was nothing on the certificate that online anything was written on it. So there was anything online on the certificate. Yeah. All of us saw it. It was only his name, the name of the school, the program he studied, and the grade he came up with. So there was nothing like online on it.
There you go. I mean, it looks exactly the same as the certificate that someone on campus would study for. I always find this issue quite funny, actually, because I think that students who study online tend to be a bit older. They tend to have a lot more work experience. They're studying at the point of extreme relevance. And also the collaborative learning model, which is about exchanging your ideas and adding to each other's assignments, is very unique to online learning, and it's very challenging to have a full-time job and study part-time as well. So, I'm in the impression that in the future people will actually want to see the word online and on that degree, because it's harder, it's more challenging to juggle your home, your family, your career without going on campus full time and leaving your job. So I'm hoping in the future people will actually be asking for that word online to be written there as a stamp of how hard people work to achieve that qualification. So I think that's fantastic. We have a number of support tools, Isaac, as you know, and I'd like to announce them to our students. We're not just running the program and leaving you there. We have a number of preparation and support tools. We have our prospective student website that a lot of you are on at the moment, making the choices that you need to about what programs you're interested in. We have these preparation and thought leadership webinars, so not only do you get to meet our students like Isaac today, you get to meet our faculty members and discuss broad-based issues that affect you on all programs, from leadership to innovation, to risk management, to cloud computing and beyond. All those webinars are available on our student community webinar page, so go check them out and you'll see some great webinars that are particular to your interest. There's something out there for everyone. We have our Center for Student Success, so once you become a student you get this wonderful website that tells you everything you need to know about surviving and living as a student at the University of Roehampton online, with quick answer bars where you can type in any question and find all the FAQs out. We have the Writing Center. There's something that we were touching upon earlier. For those that want to improve their academic writing, we actually have dedicated Writing Center tutors who will look at your work and figure out how to ensure that you're citing and referencing correctly, that you're writing original work, that you're using critical thought, and that you're going to succeed on the program. Our online library is a one-stop shop for all of the journal articles and books that you need for the course. And we have a preparation module, the Student Readiness Orientation. This lasts for a couple of weeks, where you go into a sandbox environment that looks like the first module, and you do some activities in there that kind of warms you up and gets you used to online studying before you start doing graded work. So there's a lot out there for you. Please just ask your enrollment consultant about your options. And the SRO class will be starting very, very shortly. Our student readiness experience will kick off in a couple of weeks, ready for our June 30th term start. So your next steps. You're in the inquiry phase now. You can send your EA, your CV, academic certificates, your proof of identification, discuss your options with your EA, and obviously choose your program of interest, and your start date as well, which is just around the corner. But we have start dates throughout the year as well. Your next step is actually to physically apply, which means writing your ambition statement, submitting your ambition statement to your enrollment advisor, and completing all the online application on our website. Now, there's a great video that we have on our webinar archive, which is, Take a Leap and Apply, which is how to write a successful application, how to write a strong motivation letter, and bring in all of your work experience and really showcase yourself so that you get admitted to our programs. Our programs aren't just for people with bachelor's degrees. If you have a good amount of work experience, you can also enter the program that way. As I said earlier, we're all a bit older and have a lot of experience, so you don't just have to have a purely academic background to join our programs. Again, ask your enrollment consultant about that, and they'll be able to help you make the right choice. And then, after you make your payment, you join Inspireret, which is the community that Isaac's heavily involved with, create your profile, and do your orientation activities. Networking and influencing are super important on the course. Isaac is one of the best at it, but everyone can have a turn influencing those around them, and our Refer a Friend program is something we're super, super proud of at Roehampton. 1 out of 5 of our students is referred to by another student. Something that's really fantastic word of mouth that we have about our courses, and we want to pay that forward. So if you want to study with someone in your community, at work, or a family member, just contact us, and if they join the program, you'll get a gratuity of $1,000. It really helps with your tuition. Something that's really, really nice offer there for our students. So please take that up if that's something you're interested in, or if you know someone who wants to study with you at the same time. It's always good to have some support. Now, our next term start is on the Thursday, the 30th of June, so it's just around the corner. So get your applications in, and if you'd like to know a bit more about us on our social media, you can visit us through LinkedIn, Twitter, and obviously Facebook, all the usual social media channels. That concludes our webinar for today. I'd like to thank our audience for attending our exclusive webinar and the opportunity to meet one of our fantastic students. And obviously, I'd like to say a big, big thank you to you, Isaac, for attending our webinar today and giving us your insight and inspiring the next generation of Roehampton students. I'd like to ask you one last question before we leave today. If you could go back to the beginning of your program when you started in 2013, a few years back, and you could give yourself one piece of advice just about to start the program, knowing everything that you know now, almost coming to the end of the program, what is the one piece of advice you'd give yourself?
I would actually say you should keep focused. Whatever you don't start, you don't finish. So just I will encourage myself to start, and I believe once you start, it's just a matter of time. It may look long, but once you start, before you know it, gradually, step by step, it will come to an end. So the main thing is to keep focused on whatever you have started, because it will definitely come to an end. Thank you.
Okay, so take a leap, everybody. Whatever you don't start, you don't finish. So thank you very much, Isaac. Thank you, everyone, for today. That concludes our session. We'll hopefully see you all in class. A big thank you, and have a lovely and productive rest of your day. Thank you.
You're welcome.